is the referee for this match. And don't forget, after this, Lee Centurions are in action, the league leaders against the Bradford Bulls. Whitehaven underdogs, Terry, and that's really because of the decimation that's happened to their squad in the last few weeks. You were talking to James Gore, weren't you? I mean, it really has been almost impossible. I think he was saying that on Tuesday night, only 5 fit lads for training. I mean, it's not exactly conducive ahead of a big match, is it?
No, it's not what you want coming into the equivalent of the Magic Weekend for these championship sides, and you can't really practice anything, just nursing some injuries. And there's no doubt on both sides there's going to be players that are out there that have needed some jabs to help them get on the pitch. But bringing in Perez and bringing in Walker, they're both coming from, like, so Wakefield and Castellan, they both come from a winning environment, and hopefully the freshness that comes into the side. Because when you look at this Whitehaven side, Whitehaven in the yellow jersey with the blue stripe, they are a good side. On paper, James Coyle knows that he's got some very, very talented players, some good senior players, some good juniors, but they're up against a very big Workington side, and he expects the battle, Rod. He was saying he expects the Workington to really target them up front.
Well, both teams lost last week. Whitehaven were walloped 62-4 at London. At least Workington pushed that very fine Batley Bulldog side very close up in Cumbria, didn't they, John? We were giving his thoughts throughout the afternoon. John Keir, what are you expecting from Phil Clark?
I'm expecting a great game. We've got perfect conditions. Both players seem pumped. They've had to wait a little longer than they expected, but I'm sure the fireworks will start immediately as the game commences.
Jouffret kicks the game off. He made his debut for Whitehaven in this match last year. It's spilled, but it's spilled backwards, so no immediate dramas for Workington. Well, now there's some drama because that is a really quick start from the Whitehaven pack. You mentioned the big Workington pack, Terry, but they were muscled back in a real gang tackle there and forces a very, very early goal line dropout.
Well, let's give some credit to the kickoff. The ball goes high in the air, then all of a sudden, a bit of a fumble behind the line. Deck Humes trying to bring it on, but look at the urgency. That's what you want from the kickoff. You want some fight from a team that last week they conceded 62 points against London, and they've come out here and really setting the standards.
Well, this reminds me of Leeds last night. They got off to a great start with a kick-off, and Warrington conceded from it. Obviously, a mistake from the kick-off doesn't mean the end of the match, but it's a poor start for Workington.
Well, it's exactly what Whitehaven would have hoped for, getting the football back. Well, inside the first minute of the game, they just score 16-zip to the Catalan Dragons, who are trying to follow Hull's lead this afternoon. Hull going back to the top of the Super League with a hard-earned win over St Helens Cacom Stadium. Really congested at the top there. Here, though, at the Summer Bash, the Championship clubs putting on a show as Perez gets first carry forward for Whitehaven. Coyle was in at dummy half. As Whitehaven set up base camp very close to the Workington line on a really warm afternoon. Coyle's ball forward. Brian Duffy did well to handle that, really. He did well to reel it in as Whitehaven reached the final tackle. Prodded forward by Gore, who chases his own kick, and they could well force another drop up here. They've done well. So they're going to get 2 straight sets off the back of 2 very quickly forced goal line dropouts.
Well, you've got 2 teams here, Rod, that are playing that are low on confidence. You have to look at the league table, but the start has been all about Whitehaven. A clever little kick from Grant Gore. Again, the pressure from the defence. It's good urgency. Drops it onto the toe, and there's somebody there. Then Dave Allen is the man who's just clamps that ball and pushes the Workington player over the try line.
Well, the traditional formula for success in rugby league is to get close to your opponent's line, build some pressure, and then put some points on the ball. Well, they follow the basic ingredients so far. They just need somebody now to get over it for a perfect start to this match.
Wait there. Wait. Hold,
that is a great start.
Still got it,
for Whitehaven, no doubt about that.
Need a quicker ball.
2 goal line dropouts forced. This is Jouffret again, wearing the headgear. Now Jesse Joe Parker, the veteran Papua New Guinean.
Wait there, wait.
Well, there's some good movement here, Rod, isn't there?
2.
Duffy carting the ball forward once more to within 2 or 3 metres, and again you feel if they don't score, they got the kicking game to force another set. Coyle at dummy half once more. Go on, this could be the first try. It is the first try. That's a great try. Dave Allen, the try scorer. The former Witness man crashes over 100 appearances for Witness. Former Vikings captain crashes over for the first try for Whitehaven, and it really has been the ideal start for Haven.
Well, if Dave Allen's got a plus in his game, it's the lines that he runs. He was a child prodigy. He signed professional rugby league at 11 years of age. More wicket. But the kick-off that puts Workington under pressure. It's good chase defensively. They've brought the A grade. You look at how they're just turning up, and then Dave Allen, he's the man who scores the try. He gets the rewards for this great defence. But have a little look at the line he hits. He comes on a tight lead, comes short off Grant Gord, who goes to the line. That's a great finish, Phil.
Whatever sport you're talking about, good teams make their opponents pay for the mistakes, and Whitehaven have done that. Failed to take the kick off Town, and obviously on the back of some sustained attacking pressure and some brilliant passing. I think, John, the timing of the plays was superb and thoroughly deserved that 4 points, which I'm sure will be made into 6.
Dufresne nails it. What a great start, John, for White. Everything they've done has been perfectly executed so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been 10 out of 10, hasn't it, this first few minutes? I mean, defensively, they've real looked at the races, but look at this play here. And it's absolutely sick. Gore interests the second rower there from the Workington team, and Allen comes on a very hard, aggressive line there on the inside shoulder of Whiteley and crashes over. That was highly skilled effort there. Clinical effort for Allen to cross and post a third point.
Well, he's been around a long time. I actually thought he might have played with you at Widnes, Terry.
Yeah.
It's how long he's been around, isn't it?
Do you know, he made his debut in the 2003 when they played Wigan. Wigan played Saints on Good Friday, came back from behind, and very good player, Dave. And as I say, everyone was after him when he was 11 years of age. His talent was incredible.
Yeah. Was a key cog in the Widnes wheel in their early days of Super League, as Hull KR get themselves back into the game through John Boudebza in the south of France. Catalan Dragons are still with a handy advantage here. The ball, though, has been spilled this time, and Whitehaven have made their first mistake of the match. Whiteley gets his hole on the football. Perry Whiteley steals the ball, and now Oliver Gordon takes it up. So chance there for Workington to hit straight back here inside the first 5 minutes. This is the first time they've had their hands on the ball, really, in any real sense.
Well, let's see what they can do now here. Some good field position.
Hold, go.
Shackley, and then Callum Phillips was involved there. They moved from left to right. Jack Murphy, the fullback. One game for Wigan in the Super League. It was back in 2012 in a playoff game. They lost to Leeds. Jared Samet, he really is the danger man. He's the big star, the big name out there for Workington. Picked up by Carl Forber. Forber advances towards the line. He flicks out a pass to Matty G. G tries to squirm out of a three-man Whitehaven tackle. 2 tackles left in this sequence, and they're just about 10 metres from the try line, Workington. Phil Beaver's side, looking to level the scores. Last tackle in this sequence. What have they got up their sleeves? This is Phillips. Phillips finds Samet. Samet just prods the ball forward. Oh, the magic man does it again. A typical Jared Samet try. The Workington Town Maverick halfback effectively levels the scores. 6-4 with the kick to come. And John, did I hear you say earlier that you thought he was going to score? No, you said he would score a try.
I did, and within 5 minutes we improved, right, Rod? So thanks for pointing that out.
Well, the mistake from Whitehaven, bringing the ball away in yardage, it's Dave Allen. Jared Samet's the man who's involved up top. So the loose pass, and then from that position, Jared Samet, well, everyone's got eyes for Jared Samet. Is he going to run the ball? Is he going to pass the ball? No, he's going to kick the ball. Drops the ball onto his toes, just rushes up, puts pressure on Whitehaven, turns them around. He's such a clever player, isn't he, John?
It certainly is. The deception was looking outside, but he just toe poked it from the outside of his foot, and really there was acres of space behind that Whitehaven defensive line, but a really good try from Samet.
Yeah, it was typical Samet, really. Impish play, and Carl Forber looks to level up the match inside the first 7 minutes. Well, I'd given him it. I'd given it in. Well, it really was a gimme, but somehow, like Pat Richards at the Magic Weekend, he's missed an absolute lollipop of a kick.
All right.
Well, who knows how important that might be when the ledger is finally filled in.
Well, the most amazing piece of skill was the soft kick that Samet put in. You know, it's so hard when you're running forward and there's players coming at you not to kick the ball too far. It was amazing how he just dabbed it through and had it such a delicate, soft kick that sat up for him. Brilliant piece of play, but disappointingly the conversion wasn't added to it.
Incredible to think that it was way back in 2010 when Jared Samet set off a plane to play for the Crusaders at the Magic Weekend against Bradford Bulls, and he scored that brilliant individual try when he was dressed in his Jack Sparrow gear.
Oh, he's an enormous talent, isn't he? And if you if you want to play near your own try line, you want to defend your own try line, well, Jared Sammett's going to be the danger man right the way through this game. You've got to play the game in the opposition's half. Take the game away from Jared Sammett.
Well, for whatever reason, it really hasn't developed his career in the UK, from Crusaders to Bradford, a spell at Wakefield where he didn't really get a gig at all, on loan to Featherstone, and now he's found a home up in Cumbria. But you do wonder if he's only 29. I mean, you never know where he might still have a year or two at the top level, who knows?
Yeah, well, they've conceded a try to give a penalty away. They're under pressure. You watch Jared Sammett, he'll have more and more of an influence. And we're not just going to keep talking about it, but good players come alive in this part of the field.
Well, he'll be loitering with intent here, without a question of a doubt, as Forber gets himself a ball. Sammett was involved again, and they move it from left to right, and almost getting through his Perry Whiteley as the whistle blows again.
It's done Dave Allen here. Dave Allen on Jared Sammett. Jared Sammett going at the line. He was the tackle from Dave Allen. Pushes hard from the inside.
Yeah, Dave Allen, who scored the opening try of the match, whistled for a penalty, and more pressure on this Whitehaven line. This is what happened.
And these are little nudges. If you take the ball to the line, this is what you're going to get. All he had to do, Dave Allen, really was wrap his arm around the player, then he wouldn't give the penalty away.
In the old days, Terry, you'd have called it letting him know you were there. Shackly up towards the try line. Phillips now goes himself, Phillips, and tries to get the ball down in the shadow of the post. Can't quite get to the whitewash, but they're knocking on the door again here, having turned the tables from conceding that early try. Here he is, Jared Sammett once more, getting a lot of the ball. Jack Murphy shows it, and is knocked down immediately by Dion I. The Papua New Guinean standoff wraps up Murphy. Poor pass, picked up though by Sammett, so it got to the man they wanted it to get to eventually. There's an overlap here. Whiteley goes himself, still goes himself. Tried to crawl over the try line, couldn't get to the whitewash. Again, it's Sammett. Sammett can't evade the challenge this time, has to offload the football. They come from left to right this time. Now it's Mossop. Mossop puts a grubber kick through, and it'll be snaffled very easily by Whitehaven. It'll be snaffled by Perez.
Well, they didn't score, but good play by Town, really, shifting the ball across. It was a fantastic pass from Jared Sammett out wide there to Perry Whiteley. Whitehaven's defenders are being stretched and perhaps fatigued a little at this point.
Whistle goes, and they're going to what would really be a relieving penalty, because they've been under the pump for the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, well, first of all, Craig Calvert, he goes from dummy half, and then it's Ryan Ince. The youngster's got a lot of speed, a lot of power, trying to get to his feet to play the ball, and just impeded.
There's a great deal of intent, though, isn't there, in this game, and aggression. It really is.
You don't expect anything different, though, do you, John, in a derby?
Not really.
Wait, go.
Whitehaven trying to maintain their position in the championship.
Go.
A little over a decade ago, they were right at the top of the championship and beaten in 2 championship grand finals. Here they go this time, though, as Ince go down the touchline. This will be a try. Well, that's a great move inside by Chris Taylor, and in the end, Workington were completely undone. Seemed like half a chance, but it came into a full gaping gap down that right-hand side very, very quickly, and the tries keep on coming. Chris Taylor scores it, and Whitehaven, having been under pressure, holding on to their 6-4 lead, have suddenly scored to go 10-4 in front.
Well, Ryan Ince is the man who earns his side of penalty with his urgency to get up and play the ball. You can see the Workington players all over him. The ball goes from one side of the pitch to the other. You can see that the Whitehaven halves are going at the line, they're fixing the defenders. It goes to Ryan Ince, who has a 2-on-1 with the fullback, Jack Murphy. Soft little hands, and it just looks too simple, this.
Well, 12 months ago, we got to see the young French fullback, Louis Jouffret, play his first game over here in this country for the Whitehaven side. Well, I guess he's progressed over this 12 months, because that's a brilliant pass there. Teams expect the fullback now to create the extra man when they attack. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on them to deliver an accurate pass at the right time. He did it to perfection. It's put his team and stretch the lead here now. He's going to try and do that even more with a further 2 points if he can nail it from 10 metres in from the far touchline.
Oh, can he ever? 12-4 to Whitehaven. Yeah, you saw the graphic there. Taylor, product of the Wigan Academy, is not the only one in this Whitehaven side, and they lean a lot too on their relationship with Widnes to get players in on dual reg and on loan.
Superb play though, wasn't it? It was from stand-up to scrum after Jouffre, then a long pass to the wingman, and it was just the numbers that they'd created. They'd got eight attackers against 6 defenders, and they executed it perfectly there for a really quality try.
Well, they did win the previous meeting between the teams. Whitehaven, they won by 24 points to 16. That was back in March. But they've only won 3 other games this season. Workington have only won twice this year, all told. That was against Oldham and Sheffield.
I think they beat them in a pre-season friendly as well. Whitehaven played them twice this year. One of them in the competition, but they come into this game full of confidence. There's another good youngster, Ben Davis already was years ago when he come from Wigan, went to Widnes, had so much talent. Ben Davis, he's got a good hit and spin, and that's a great kick.
When you get to your age, Terry, everybody seems young.
They do, and that's why I was getting confused. And again, look, it's a 40-20.
Yeah, it is. It's perfectly placed, isn't it? It's just inside the 40, and it bounds into touch. Perfect weight.
Superb kick, wasn't it, from Grant Gore there? Just kept him sat inside the 40-metre mark, and a beautiful kick there. Weighted so well to perfection.
And that's awareness, that knowing where you are on the pitch, knowing you're coming off the back of a quick play of the ball, and positioning yourself behind that red line on the 40 to perfect that kick.
Gore with a handful of appearances for Widnes. As I mentioned, Whitehaven have a very good relationship with Widnes, thanks to James Coyle. 26-6 to the Catalan Dragons. Just approaching half-time in the south of France. Jouffre really gets the legs pumping and the legs driving for Whitehaven. Scrum that started inside the Workington 20. Here is Ryan Duffy, driving it forward. Coyle is very busy at dummy half, conducting the Whitehaven orchestra. Gore steps and then burrows and gets to within a couple of metres of the try line. Whitehaven looking for a third try. Scruffy play the ball. Referee waves play on. Scruffy pass also. And Ince, who created that last try, the second try for Taylor, manages to make something of the scraps that he was fed. Dave Allen. 3 Workington tacklers have to come in to make the stop. This is the final tackle. Well, it looked like there was half a chance from dummy half, but the door slammed very, very quickly. And in the end, they turned the ball over. Chris Taylor turns the ball over a metre from the Workington line. And a couple of players are slow to get up.
Well, he has scored the first try, as we see the referee just stop the clock here while players are receiving the treatment. But very ambitious play there from Chris Taylor to think he could poke his nose through that gap and score a second try. Held up here short of the line. Dave Allen, metre out. And there's just too many defenders there for Taylor. In fact, one of them is still injured on the floor.
And he goes into the heart of the defence. And Dave Allen, I think, is trying to play over the top of the line, trying to offload the ball, gets caught with it, but Chris Taylor going for glory. Probably the only decent thing here, Rod, is where they turn the ball over.
Yeah, Chris Murphy, I think it is, who's injured. I think got his leg just trapped under the tackle. Anyway, he continues to get some treatment. Workington play on.
Yeah, he's leaving the pitch as well, Rod.
He is, yeah.
Doesn't look like he'll be back, so it's...
Well, he began the season actually as the fitness trainer for the team, and was pulled in when they suffered so many injuries. Scored a lot of tries actually as a standing winger, done remarkably well, but it looks as though he's badly injured his right ankle there. Extending underneath the collision with Dave Allen.
Yeah, six tries this season for Chris Murphy, as Phil was alluding to.
So Carl Alstrom's gone on to the wingman, and they'll be disappointed that because they were trying to use Alstrom as a middle channel player, because he certainly generates enthusiasm and aggression, but they'll be parked out there on the wing by the look of it.
So early problems for Phil Vivers to sort out. Here's Forber trying to sort out the problems that are presented by the Whitehaven defence in front of him as Matty G takes it forward. Workington. Mossop, Declan Hume was hoping for something on that right-hand side. In the end, the ball didn't come, but he's in there at dummy half to find Forber. And now Mark Shackley Centre of the field, 10 metres out, last tackle. What has Samet got this time? Will he try that little kick again? Oh, goodness me, Jared, that's a bit strong.
That was a downtown, wasn't it?
My goodness.
No, it's not.
He got the first one so right, he got that so wrong.
Well, Phil complimented on his deft skill and his soft kicking ability. Well,
I'm not sure that was the dictionary definition of deft, John, was it?
no, not really.
The first one was outstanding, wasn't it? His first kick, short attacking kick.
Wait there, Liam. Go.
There was a
Liam, you're
letdown.
out,
And,
I think he got his days mixed up. I thought there was a net at the end there.
Even the best players don't get it right every time. Even the best make mistakes. And Samet didn't get that right, but there's no real damage done, I suppose. It was just a 20-metre restart in the end. Oh, hello. Just Duffy ran into his own man then, and well, in the end, he almost blocked James Newton, but Newton managed to get away from Duffy, which is quite a task in itself. So Whitehaven lead, 12 points to 4 as 17 minutes gone. Another good set out of their own half here from Haven. Little prodded kick through, it's a good one, it comes loose, and well, Workington are lucky to maintain possession in the end. D&I had got that pretty much weighted to perfection right up to the try line.
Well, you said before the game that Whitehaven like to play down the left-hand side. Hugo Perez has had lots of ball, and they've tried whenever possible to shift it here. They've really stretched their opponents, and Craig Calvert chasing that kick up, unable to get it, but they're again turning over the ball in the right part of the field. They want to win the territorial battle.
Craig Calvert, 32 now. Made his debut for Whitehaven in 2004. Once the fastest man in rugby league. I'm not sure he is these days at the ripe old age of 32, but he can still shift. Gore and Ince come in and tackle. The leg was lifted briefly, but they put him down safely, and Jared Samet comes in to get Workington moving again. I'll tell you what, that's a little meaty hit, Terry.
Well, do you know what? They look physical, don't they, Whitehaven? Never expecting to be bullied up the middle of the park. They're the ones who are certainly taking the game to Workington and up in the tempo.
Pushing forward.
Shankly crawls to his feet, has a look round, says, who was that? Samet really gets his right boot right through the back of that ball, all the way deep into Whitehaven territory, picked up by Haven,
good chase
by Calvert, and Geoffrey was waiting for anything should there be an offload. Geoffrey is there again, Jesse Joe Parker, straight up the middle, safety first stuff here from Whitehaven. They lead by 8, things have gone pretty much according to their game plan so far. They scored early, then conceded quite quickly to Samet, but then scored again through Taylor.
They're using an outside back, sorry Rod, they're using an outside backs. And that was a good hit as well on Ben Davis.
It was, and it's jarred the ball free as well, so this will be a free play for Workington, and Forber takes full advantage by spinning a ball out wide. They're going to try and throw it around here in this tackle to, well, that should go back to the original knock-on, and they were entitled to be a little bit creative, a little bit cavalier with possession there, because they knew it was coming back for another set should they lose possession.
But I cannot understand that, because they've got the error here that forced with a good shoulder contact on Davis, but then just try. It's absolutely an impossible offload here that I thought he was attempting, and then they go back to 10 metres or so rather than just playing the ball quickly and having a disrupted defensive line. The Whitehaven defensive line is now set.
Well, let's just get some injury news. We saw Chris Murphy leave the field a moment or two ago. We'll go down to Angela in just a second, but let's just see what comes from this Workington attack here, because Samet has got a really good quick play the ball in there, Jared Samet, and it's carried forward by Callum Phillips. Callum Phillips, is he over the line? Is he on the line?
Close, isn't he?
Well, it wasn't immediately evident to us, and it wasn't immediately evident to Michael Woodhead, the referee, so he's going to have to call on the expertise of Robert Hicks to have a look from the video booth. He says no try, though, on the field.
I thought he goes over the line here. Does his momentum take him over the line? They come over the top, the shot there, obviously. Does he keep, and his momentum keep going forward? We're still moving, being dragged by a Whitehaven player. That's a try. I don't think there's any double movement there. Lads, is there?
Well, I think there's enough evidence to overturn the on-field referee's decision.
I'd love to see this at normal speed as well. Yep. See this at normal speed. You'll see that Phillips doesn't.
Here you are, Terry. Look, what you ask and they deliver.
There you go.
Does the ball hit the line? Does the ball hit the line?
I think he does, Phil.
I wasn't convinced.
Still won't convince.
Just the apex of the ball.
This is the decision. Robert Hicks, the man at the controls, and Robert Hicks says that is a try. Wasn't immediately evident at full speed. The on-field referee signalling no try, but enough evidence for Robert Hicks to overturn Phil.
Well, every team needs a good hooker who's got a brilliant engine, and from the first 20 minutes it appears that Callum Watkins has that. He's been busy, he's been active, and he's been there when needed. Quick play the ball from Samet, ball in the middle of the defenders. He went hard, just pushed through the fullback and had enough momentum to take him to the line, according to the officials here. Look, sidestepping, accelerating and driving hard. He's made a tremendous amount of meters after contact, and it's helped to give his team another 6 points.
Well, the risk of making myself look even more foolish than I've already done, I'm going to give him this one. And he obliges. So 12-10. Remember that one that hit the post earlier from Carl Forber? That is the difference between the two teams. 12-10 to Whitehaven.
Well, Callum Phillips goes from dummy half because Jared Samet did the same the previous set. And when Jared Samet set the line going forward, a retreating defensive line will never be dominant. And then when Callum Phillips knows that he's on a quick play of the ball, well, his just momentum takes him over for that try.
OK, we saw Chris Murphy go over off the field, go over on his ankle and off the field. Let's get the latest on that. We delayed Angela's report. My apologies, Angela. What have you got on Chris Murphy?
No problems there, Rod. I mean, they'll be very delighted with that try, Rod, Workington, but really disappointed that Chris Murphy won't be playing again in this half. I had a little chat with him on the touchline, and he said as soon as he went over, he knew it was an old injury that he's had operations on before, and there was no way he was going to be playing again in this game. Fingers crossed, he says that he might be back next week or a bit after that, but it's definitely not for the rest of this one, and sad for Workington that.
Thanks, Angela. And meantime, Whitehaven have got a scrum here.
And some controversy really here, the way the Workington did actually knock on from the kickoff. It appeared to myself here in the commentary that it comes off his leg. He pulls out of it, I felt.
I'm with you, Phil, there.
Yeah.
I think that's off his leg.
He's
I think
changed the decision now,
it's
lads.
from Whitehaven.
Yeah, he's changed the decision.
The
Michael
kick-off once again, though, Terry, caused trouble, didn't it, from Jouffre?
Oh, he's won it
It
against the
doesn't
head.
make any difference when you can win it against the head. It doesn't matter who puts it in, it's where it comes out. Jouffre has picked up the pieces from the back of the scrum. And now, Whitehaven with a chance to score their third try, just outside the first quarter of the match. Jouffre, Parker, Jesse Joe Parker, and he's going to score. There'll be some stopping him from there. Jesse Joe Parker goes over the try line. The Papua New Guinean was not messing around from close range, and they score off the back of the unexpected scrum win against the head.
Well, because it's unexpected, the Whitehaven or the Workington players don't really get any push in the scrum. Then all of a sudden they turn the ball over, Whitehaven are pushing, they know they're close to the opposition's line. It's the kick-off here, and you picked it up straight away, Phil.
Well, it's slightly irrelevant here. We're saying it's a scrum win against the head. It's not actually, it's a scrum win against the feed, because the ball's fed towards the side, but James Newton, the number 9 for Whitehaven, is the man that I'm giving the credit to for this try. I think it was his fault that went in and hooked the ball back for his teammates, for Jesse Joe Parker to crash over from close range. It's a brilliant execution. They've really timed the runs to perfection, and the passing accuracy has been very pleasing to watch, and I'm sure pleasing if you're a Whitehaven fan, because there's more points on the board.
Oh, Mike Steve-O Stevenson would be salivating at the work of the hooker, would he not?
Just look at the halves, look at the key men for Whitehaven. Gore, Jouffre, all going at the line, all holding up the defence, giving the ball to Jesse Joe Parker, big and strong.
Jouffre, well, that has got so much height, it almost disappeared over the top of the post, but the important thing, it was between them, and his kicking has been spot on. It's been A1, it's been perfect, and it's 18-10 to Whitehaven. Jesse Joe Parker with the try. His 5th season at Whitehaven, fixture really at the club.
Remember when he first came over and he went to Featherstone, he set the game alight, didn't he? Then he signed for Wakefield.
He did, yes.
John?
And never appeared.
Yeah.
Why was that, John?
I think his timekeeping wasn't the best.
Oh, I see.
And
Oh,
call it by months, Rob, not day, not minutes.
Dion Ayers dropped the kick-off.
Yeah, well, you could see he's thinking, Rod, trying to get my foot out of the field of play.
Well, forensic examination may indicate that he...
His foot's off the ground.
No, he didn't.
No, it's a knock-on. He's trying to get his hand on the ball and get his foot out of the field of play, which would have then took the ball back to halfway.
Yeah, he falls victim there of that controversial law in the game.
Just overthinking it. Catch the ball and tip it onto a prop forward.
That's what I mean. It's now become not an obsession, but close to it, with this performing this circus act trick of getting your foot out first. And well, he didn't get it right, did he? We've seen it a few people.
He only
get that
needed
wrong.
his foot on the line, didn't he? Didn't he have to catch the ball, just make contact with it? But anyway, that's irrelevant now. As Workington see if they can find a way through what's been very enthusiastic defence by this Whitehaven team.
Samet getting his hands on the ball once more, and Carl Forber, he and Samet, obviously the dangerous combination at half-back for Workington. They pull the strings. Murphy comes in at dummy half, Jack Murphy that is. We've already mentioned that Chris Murphy off injured with that ankle problem. Last tackle then for Workington. Every time Whitehaven have scored, Workington have hit back pretty much straight away. Samet shaped to pass once, did pass on the second time. Murphy has got absolutely nowhere to go. That is a cul-de-sac, and he's gone straight down.
Well, he's met by Grant Gore, and then all of a sudden Grant Gore catches the player. Dave Allen comes in, closes Murphy down.
Dave, back.
They're defending the line well. I know that they've conceded a couple of tries, and was it a kick and then one was a scoot over, but you can just see they're numbering up, they're getting off the line, they're making sure they push off onto the next Workington player.
Well done, Liam.
Well, it's unlikely either of these two teams are going to play for a big trophy this year. This is perhaps the highlight of the season for both teams and the supporters here today, to play on a good stage with great weather. The eyes of the country on them here now for this match, and I think they're having almost season best performances so far.
Well, last season they met in this Summer Bash event here in Blackpool, and Whitehaven led 18-0 in that match at one point, and ultimately lost 26 points to 20. So here the 8-point lead doesn't look all that secure when you consider that statistic from 12 months ago. A kick that's easily gathered in the end by Declan Hume. It was not the easiest pass, but the easiest bouncing ball, but he makes it look simple.
And that's a simple set from Whitehaven. A couple of strong carries, get out from dummy half, kick on the front foot, make sure you chase the ball really hard, try and close the play up on player one, maybe player two.
Still got the main event of the evening to come from Bloomfield Road here, where the table-topping Centurions from Lee are in action against the Bulls of Bradford, two of the teams you would think is almost a certainty that they will be in the top four and therefore in the middle eight. Samet again with the outside of the right boot, goes himself! My goodness me! A delicious try from Jared Samet, even better than his first one. That was just beautifully weighted off the outside of his right boot. A special skill. It sat up and baked, and he scored.
Running speed of thought here. Jared Samet, when he shapes the kick on the left side, was it going to go down into the corner? But then all of a sudden he looks up, he sees that Dupre loses footing. Dupre is going across the back of the field of play because he thinks that the ball's going to go to the corner. Then all of a sudden he spots that. He spots the slip and identifies that no, the space is back on the inside. He's got such a good rugby brain, Jared Samet. He can see things straight away in a split second. He can change the plan. And that's a great effort.
It is. Joffrey overcompensated. I'll tell you, Teddy, from the pre, he saw Samet and he worked too hard to get across there, and that's why Samet, outside of his foot again, and his weighty fill this time was absolutely perfect. Great try.
Thanks, Rob.
Well, this is pretty similar to the kick that Forber missed. That was come off the back of Samet's first try. We've just seen him score his second, and this time he's nailed it. So 18-16, just a deuce between the teams, and Forber kicks his second goal. Samet gets his second try. That's his 12th try for Workington this season. This is only his 11th match.
Well, Whitehaven almost need a special ops team, don't they? If it gets to the last play and the ball ends up in his hands, they need as many men as possible around that area, because he can work his magic. He has done so far, and if you think that so many of his team's points, 10 now really, responsible, created by his play with that genius little right-footed kick.
Off you go.
I think an interesting one, Phil, though, has been that it's kicked up
Causing
again.
problems
It's
again.
caused chaos. Chaos was caused.
Wow.
It was a yours, mine, sorry.
Well, Forber needs to take control of that play. Forber's looking at Declan Hume, Declan Hume's looking at Forber. But it bounces in his vicinity. Just drop back. It's easier to stand further back. If you know that you're up against a team that's got a very good kicking game, stand further back and then come onto the ball.
Interesting thing though, Terry, as well, all Workington tries have been individual efforts, whereas Whitehaven have been really well-structured plays, so this is a real danger set for Workington Town.
Well, talking of coming onto the ball,
Wait there, wait,
it's
wait,
Whitehaven coming
go.
onto the ball now with Anthony Walker, one of the two lone men that James Coyle's got in for this game. We mentioned Perez coming in from France, Walker coming in from Wakefield. Two very astute pieces of business at this stage of the season for this kind of match. And Gore drops the ball off to David Allen, and Allen for Walker, and Phillips dragging down in the end, but he's got to within 10 metres of the try line. And Whitehaven threatening to score their 4th try of the match. It's been tit for tat try scoring in this match. Whitehaven have scored 3 times, and each and every time Workington have hit back. That's a penalty and a choice to make with 10.5 minutes to go before the half-time siren. It's the simplest 2-pointer you could ever wish, or will they fancy going for 4, possibly 6? No. The safety-first play of just knocking over
rather coming away with the point, 2 points here, I think would have kept the pressure on, John. If you were coaching Whitehaven, what would you have sent down the message?
John has a penchant for a penalty.
I have, yes, certainly have, yes. It's half a try, isn't it? It's a give me half a try, that one.
Would you have gone for the 2?
I would, yes, I would.
James, measure the wrong side.
Keep the pressure on, keep going.
Right, Terry, you made your point. 2 points on offer. Absolute city, you would think. And Jouffret has not even hinted of missing a kick all afternoon. He's kicked much more difficult ones than that, and it's another 2. They lead by 4, 20 points to 16, and Phil Beavers, the Workington coach, has a few things to ponder as half-time approaches.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's picked up some points here from what Whitehaven have done well and what his side have done well in the first half, and they come away with 2 points here. But remember, last time they scored some points, they made a mistake close to their own try line.
Phil Beavers at head coach of Salford, 2011 to 2013. Who's the first to relieved of his position by Dr. Marwan Kukash, and he wasn't the last. As Ian Watson and now Tim Sheens in the coaching hot seat at the Red Devils.
Well, as the coach has just made the decision to bring on a new player, number 7 for Town, wearing the white shirt, Jamie Doran. You may have seen him play for Wigan in the past. He was a Super League player, very skillful one. I'm sure he may be the player in those final 10 minutes before half-time to unlock Whitehaven's defence in the middle. Great little passer of the ball if his team get the chance.
And born in Whitehaven, so with a little bit of a interesting twist to the tail. Let's see what Doran can do as he enters the fray. 8 minutes, well, nearly 9 minutes before the half-time break. Jouffret again, he showed, and now squirms away from Forber, still going Jouffret, holding on tight to the ball. Doran comes across with Forber to make the tackle, but Jouffret looking very, very dangerous, turned 21 earlier this week. Gore, he's hooked that rather. Oh, well, they made something, well, what a mess that was. He could have just let that go dead. It was disappearing into row A, and in the end, well, it was all really Laurel and Hardy stuff, and they diffuse it, but at the cost of a goal line dropout. It was a real mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, does he take the gamble? Does that go out of the field of play? Does he catch it? He wasn't under pressure. So as a player, you're going to go for this.
Yeah,
you've got to catch the ball.
You've got to catch it.
Yeah, and you.
Come on, man.
Well, they say in cricket, don't they, that catches win matches. In rugby league, I suppose it's dealing with kicks. They've been poor when they've had kickoffs into that corner of the field. This is the opposite side, and it was a last tackle kick, which again they failed to cover. They now drop the ball out to the halfway.
It certainly wasn't Grant Gore's best kick that he put in there, but he's got the result he wanted. Got an outcome for it that was as favourable as it possibly could be. Another repeat set for Whitehaven, who already have an advantage of 4 points here. Can they put more points on the board, and for the first time in the match, put 2 scores between these two Cumbrian rivals? Have been rivals since just after the end of the Second World War. Jouffret looks really dangerous. Parker's got the strength, he's got the power. Calvert comes in at dummy half, he leaves it in the end to Newton. It'll be Newton who directs the traffic. And Gore keeping things very, very simple here for Chapelot. And Chapelot is tackled and plays the ball 8 metres out. Once more, Gore again, good combination between the two half-backs. Oh, great squirming run from Allen. How close to the line was he? Very close, but not on it, says referee Michael Woodhead. That could have been a second for Dave Allen. Fumbles the football and prods it through, and he's got too much meat behind it, and Workington escapes.
Yeah, just too much on that kick.
On the
Good
foot,
build-up
fellas, on the
play
foot.
again from Whitehaven, going at the line the halves, the forward running really strongly. Anthony Walker, since he's come on off the bench, has given them a huge lift. We thought he would do. Fresh face coming into Whitehaven, as you said, Rod, at the start of the game, down on numbers, so you need somebody to come in and give you a lift, someone new.
Well, Walker, a man with Super League pedigree, he may not be in the first team at Wakefield at the moment, but a man who's played first team for St Helens, and you would expect him to have an impact in the championship, especially without being rude. It's 11th and 12th in the championship. You think it would be meat and gravy to a player of his calibre, and he's having an impact. Samet just got caught there by Dave Allen as he tried to get up to his feet to play the ball.
5 last move, Ted.
On Walker. There's Doran. This is Samet. Well, kicking for touch 6 minutes before half-time. They trail by 4. What he's thinking there is, OK, we'll line up here from the scrum and we'll try to force an error.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'll be thinking of Ryan Ince, the right wing for Whitehaven. He's not going to make a play for that ball as he comes into field looking to take the first carry, I'm sure, from this scrum. But don't make a play for the ball, don't make a mistake. Phil Vivers knows they're in the game, just 4 points behind. But if they can camp down here, we've seen that they can score tries. Guided around by Jared Samet, Carl Forber.
Release Carl!
Whitehaven looking for their first win in 5 attempts, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak at the moment.
Line's good, boys.
Looks pretty handy. And they'll get a penalty here as well. So it looks even more handy now.
They're just not moving.
Get the feeling the way these two teams have played that there's another try at least before half-time, and this penalty, if it's kicked sufficiently to touch, should give Whitehaven the springboard here now to launch that next attack.
You just got to get out that.
They've really shifted the ball well, and I just get a sense that 1 or 2 of the players now starting to tire slightly. 5 minutes to half-time.
Well, John made a good point. And it's quarter man, not square. John made a good point that Whitehaven have been really solid as a team unit. They've created tries as a team and scored them as a team, whereas Workington, with that magic of Jared Samet has been responsible for 2 magical individual tries. So you can't keep relying that he's going to pull some rabbit out of the hat from his box of tricks. You can't keep doing it all afternoon. And the rest of them are going to have to step up a bit here, because Whitehaven 20 points to 16 in front, and well, it's going to be 26-16, 22-16, because they'll take the penalty here. If they took it last time, you feel they'd have to take it. Well, all we ask for is consistency.
Now this is where you would go for 2 points. This is where I would agree with you, John. I'd go for 2 points here, and James Cole surely sent the message down, because what was going to happen, they were going to run the play.
Some players just like playing. He wanted to tap the ball, James Newton. I don't kick the ball, it's still fun for me.
You didn't say that before when I asked the question.
You were talking to John.
It's fun for Louis Giuffre, though. He likes kicking the ball, doesn't he? And he's kicked it very accurately today. He scored a try here last year, Giuffre, as well. And all things being equal, he should take his personal haul of points into double figures. He's had 3 conversions and a penalty already to his name. This should be a second penalty. He'll be responsible for 10 of their points, of the 22 it will be if he's successful here. In a half that they have been the better team, and with nonchalance he strokes it over. It's 22-16 to Whitehaven.
Well, they get the field position. You can trace it back to the tap when Ben Davis, he runs onto the ball, he gets his lands on his front, plays the ball really quickly, and then all of a sudden, I think it was Newton that goes from dummy half, he earns a penalty, more field position. And Workington, well, both sides have shown when they're defending their own line. Whitehaven in particular conceded 2 tries from kicks. Workington conceded some points, give away penalties.
Time it, fellas.
There's nothing in this, is there? Absolutely nothing.
Sam at this time has gone for a steepler, hoping for something. Oh, well, was that knocked on by Workington? No, says the referee. Yes, says the referee. For a moment, I think he thought he was going to play on there, but he's got the shout from the touch judge who said, no, it's been spilled forward there. Came off Mossop. Oh, and that's the right decision, I think. Initially, I think he was thinking of playing on, but then got the call.
Well done, the referee, because he's overturned the touch, because he said that there's no knock on. I don't believe there's a knock on here. When he goes on, he turns round. Yeah, that's clear, that's fine. And then there's a knock on there. And then there's a knock on here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, then there's a knock on here from Workington.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Get your leg down.
Okay, calm down.
That's what I meant.
Ryan, you're not a hooker.
I think he thought initially that Workington hadn't knocked on and he was going to play on, but he did spot that there's just a little touch there. And the right decision is made, and Whitehaven get the ball back. 2 minutes to go before half-time. Good first half.
Well done, go.
3 tries
Play on,
apiece,
play
the
on.
kicking the
Step
difference. A missed shot at goal from Carl Forber. Everything successful from Giuffre, 3
Wait,
conversions and 2
wait,
penalties, and his boot is proving the difference. It's a 6-point ball game in this Cumbrian derby. Second game on the first day of the Summer Bash. The second Summer Bash here in Blackpool as Whitehaven move forward again, looking for more points before the interval. Ryan Duffy getting through the work. Gore looking for the sideline and finding the sideline, and that'll eat up quite a bit of the clock. That should take us down to inside the 90 seconds. Gore just got caught as he got that away, though. You don't want him going off, do they?
He's controlled the game really well, hasn't he? Kicked the 40-20, just knocks the ball
Minimal contact is
off the field of play here. And James Coyle will go into the changing rooms, really impressed with his forwards. You can just see he's took one on the toes.
Well, Tom Walker it was.
Get your head in.
Well, they've matched Workington up front. They really have matched Workington up front. They've been really physical, defending, again, numbers in,
Stand.
pushing
Wait.
Workington back, trying to win the early plays, getting off the line, good contact initially.
2. Move.
Tackle James
Come on,
Newton, number
Ryan.
9.
Wait.
Make sure he hurt him, not just hit him.
3, release down.
Well, this is a set now where they need to be a little conservative. You think safety, they don't want to spill the ball here and give Whitehaven an attacking chance just before half-time. It'll be a question of getting through the 5 tackles and getting it up the other end into the safe area. Samet goes early, looking for a 40-20 perhaps, but the ball would have to have gone up at right angles there to meet the sideline. And Giuffre picks it up, but he does so 10 metres from his line and gets away from one challenge. He does not get away from the second, which came in from Liam McAvoy. He plays the ball 10 metres from his own line. Calvert. Craig Calvert. Haven't seen him much in an attacking sense so far this afternoon. The leading try scorer for Whitehaven in the history of the club. Recently went past David Seed's long-standing record, and he has to his name 9 tries this season. Not added to that though this afternoon. There's Gore once more. Expansive stuff. Giuffre as the siren sounds. Taylor keeps hold of the football, takes his side through safely to half-time, and it's been a good first half for Whitehaven and James Coyle. They have the advantage, 3 tries apiece. 2 magical tries for Phil Beavers' team from Jared Samet, but not enough because Whitehaven have the advantage by 6 points at half-time. They lead in the Cumbrian Derby by 22 points to 16.
Yes, thanks very much, Rod. Whitehaven arrived here at the Summer Bash with 4 consecutive defeats on their season record. At half-time here in Game 2, they are halfway towards a long-awaited win. Remember, they were the underdogs going into this game despite sitting above Workington Town in the table. Injuries and absentees were thought to be fatal for the Whitehaven side. Not a bit of it. We've got half-time analysis in the company of John Keir coming up after a very short break.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of Rugby League on Sky Sports.
Further than you think. Yes, it's European Car of the Year. Yes, it's a new Astra from only £219 per month plus advance rental.
I'm Captain Obvious, and I travel a lot. And I know the simple and easy way to find and book a place to stay is with Hotels.com. It's a website on the internet. I've also picked up a few worldly phrases. Ohayo gozaimasu! Na zdrowie!
Ladies,
Harry Pet, how you doing? Well, that's a super swanky jacket like.
I love the Danish. Hotels.com. It's super swanky proper like.
I made a promise that I was done with this life.
The biggest pirate treasure of all time is within our grasp.
Uncharted 4, only on PlayStation. For the players.
If you do any of these, you need to check out the fantastic bank holiday deals at Screwfix. Like this 10-litre Leyland Trade Matte Emulsion Paint in white or magnolia, 2 for just £22. And get this 6-pack of LAP GU10 40-watt LED light bulbs, now only £8.99. So when you need to get the job done, you need Screwfix.
We're going to tell this story. We're going to tell it right.
Critics are calling Spotlight the best film you'll see all year.
They knew, and they let it happen!
Spotlight, available to buy or rent now.
Always be in fashion mode. Indoors and outdoors. Always see life in the best light with the iconic colour of Transitions lenses. Our advanced adaptive lens technology is available in graphite green, grey and brown. Look for multi-pair offers at participating opticians.
This is not going to be easy, lads. You've got to fight. Put your neck on the line. There'll be big decisions to make. You must be first to score. The right decisions will make all the difference.
Here's a great offer from Betfred. Betfred, passionate about rugby league. Keep it fun. Gamble responsibly.
We're racing once again!
The Monaco Grand Prix continues tomorrow at 11:30 live, only on Sky Sports. Available to buy and keep in Sky Store now.
What if there was a place where nothing was impossible?
Who's ready to fly?
Buckle up!
Buy and keep your family favorites now. All available at a special price in Sky Store.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of Rugby League on Sky Sports.
Certainly the most anticipated fixture of day one of Summer Bash. It's the Bradford Bulls against the Lee Centurions. 7:35 p.m. for kickoff on that one. Note the channel, it will be Sky Sports 2. The eyes of the rugby league world in this country surely will be fixed on that one. All right, game 2, half-time. Workington Town, Whitehaven, 22 points to 16 in favour of Whitehaven. Workington Town were favourites going into this game, but it has been Whitehaven's half. Just the 6 points between them at half-time. Whitehaven, against the odds, John, score first. Great try to Dave Allen.
Well, they've taken real advantage of the field position that they've had, and that was lovely shape and a great pass from Gore to Allen. Then in the ensuing set from the kick-off, he loses the ball, Dave Allen, and then there's this piece of genius here, and you see he retrieves the ball, and Jouffre hasn't quite got across from that piece of individual brilliance. Penalty then from Ince, gives field position once again, and look again at the shape. It's standoff to scrum half to fullback, and Jouffre's pass is perfect to the winger, and that allows Taylor to cross wide out.
12-4 to Whitehaven. Workington Town hit back through Callum Phillips from dummy half.
Yeah, and it was on the back of Sammett's quick play, and he just went. It was just an individual piece of play, just carried the ball very aggressively and got over. Then something we don't see, a heel against the head. That gives field position, and again, look at the superb shape once again, and Jouffre engages the defender to release Jesse Joe Parker for an excellent try.
18 points to 10 then to Whitehaven, once bitten, twice shy. Jared Sammett again.
Yeah, they went too far across that time, Jouffre. Overcompensated, Sammett read it, and over it went. Some real quality rugby league there. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game. It's the individualism of Workington against the team play of Whitehaven.
We'll touch on that now in a second. Of course, Jared Sammett's second try caught out Louis Jouffre. Jouffre did reply with 2 penalties, pushing the score out to 22 points to 16. I want to talk about the young French fullback. What a talent.
It's outstanding, isn't he? It's really adapted and grown into that. He was at Warrington in the academy there as a halfback, but he's taken to the fullback role really well. He hides behind the ruck, he looks at the numbers on the short side of the opposition, and if they're numbered off wrongly, he sweeps round the big side and creates extra players. And he's a really clever player, cleverly coached as well with the shape, but he's a clever player and is a definite threat.
Okay, let's return to your description of the first half. It is the collective effort against the individual effort. Best highlighted, I suppose, by Sammett when we're talking about Workington Town, but the collective effort of Whitehaven winning out at the end.
Yeah, it's been superb. I think they've shown an intent in defence. They've really bounced back from their poor performance last week. They really have. They've come here with an intent to put things right. They've defended pretty well, I think, except for those individual glitches, but the team play with ball in hand has been first class.
If you're Phil Weavers in the dressing room at halftime, what's the message to your players? I mean, this game is well within your grasp if you want to take it, but surely can't continue 40 minutes with just individual performances.
They can't. Well, first of all, they've got to tidy up receiving kickoffs or dropouts.
Well, three, and then, Whitehaven coughed up one of their own.
Exactly that. So first, that's the first thing to tidy up. Then they've to tidy up the numbering off from the play of the balls, because they're just being a bit hesitant, and that's what's allowing Whitehaven to create numbers. So those two factors are real important for Workington.
If they tidy it up, John, do they have the strike from what you've seen here today to beat Whitehaven?
Well, today, in all honesty, Whitehaven looked the better team. So if the second set at 40 minutes reflects the first, Whitehaven will come off here smiling.
Okay, Workington Town went into this game sitting at the bottom of the table. They did hope to register their third win. Well, it's looking like the White go the way of Whitehaven now, but we have a 40 minutes for Workington Town to rectify the situation. The Whitehaven will be desperate to cling on to this half-time lead. Short break coming up before the second half, live here at the Summer Bash.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of Rugby League on Sky Sports.
Jump into a brand new kitchen with B&Q's expertly crafted range, all competitively priced, all year round. Plus, until 31st of May, get up to 3 years interest-free credit with no deposit. Let's create the kitchen of your dreams. B&Q. Let's create.
So you want to know your heart rate when you're doing this, or this, or this? Maybe not this, but this, and this, or this, or this, or this. Which means you should probably wear this. Beat yesterday with Vivo Active HR from Garmin.
Presents Ballet, a short film directed by award-winning director Alejandro Amenabar.
Johnny Cash. Won't be done.
Why are they asking him so many questions?
Starring Dakota Johnson, Kim Gutierrez, and Natalia Tenner. Watch the full film at australiadam.com.
Domino's new pepperoni passion with sriracha. So tasty the mouth boggles.
The weather's looking brighter, and now your wardrobe can too, with 25% off 2 clothing.
Get 2-for-1 cinema tickets and a limited edition's Meerkat Movies toy. Only when you buy, so comparesthemarket.com.
Good work. We're nearly ready to unveil our new Sky Kids app. How's everything going?
Just a little handyman's know-how is all it takes.
Jake, don't forget the kids will want to make it their own.
Third time, Jerry.
Are the shows in place and on demand?
It looks like we're ready.
All right, come on, gather round, everyone, for the big reveal. The new Sky Kids app, available for Sky TV customers at no extra cost. Download it now. Sky, believe in better.
The only way to prepare for a summer tour is to battle one of your oldest enemies. England versus Wales, tomorrow from 2:30 on Sky Sports.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of Rugby League on Sky Sports.
The bitterest of rivals since 1948, Workington Town may have the more illustrious past, but the first half today belongs to Whitehaven. 22 points to 16, they lead. Game 2 of the first day of Summer Bash. A pulsating 40 minutes awaits us. To take you through it is the commentary team led by Rod Studd.
Thanks, Brian. Jared Samet. The Maverick Australian with 2 brilliant tries in the first half. Here we go then. second half underway. 22-16. Whitehaven, who scored right at the start. Remember, they forced a goal line dropout in 13 seconds at the start of the first half. They've been well to force one premier in 13 seconds, but they scored early through Dave Allen. 3 tries apiece. Allen, Taylor and Parker for Whitehaven. Those 2 from Samet I mentioned, and another one from Phillips for Workington. The difference, the kicking, a couple of penalties and 3 conversions from Louis Jouffret, and just the 2 conversions for Carl Forber for Workington. Can they get back into it, Phil, do you think?
I think they can. You know, they were outplayed in our opinion, weren't they? Whitehaven, the better team, but they still only have a 6-point lead, and that's a rather insignificant one with the way they dominated the match. They need to certainly press ahead if they get any more chances, because the Workington team here look highly determined this afternoon. High kick to the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. It came down from in the sun. It's knocked on.
Knocked on and it's touched in.
Who scored the ball first?
Well, I think Workington
did, Phil. Yeah, good spot by you, yeah.
Definitely Hume, isn't it? The ball goes forward. If it then hits another opponent, any opponent, immediately that becomes a knock-on, even though he gets the possession back. Craig Calvert, is it? Charging, putting him under pressure.
Well, it's another good start to a half, isn't it?
Make sure you're right in, James.
Just Calvert getting in his eye line, doing enough to just put him off.
Well, it was a good kick too, because it had plenty of height on it. The sun's still shining brightly here by the seaside. It wasn't the easiest of balls to handle by any stretch of the imagination, and it's given Whitehaven another good piece of field position right at the start of the half.
Both sides have got very good kicking games.
Gore to to the fullback Jouffret, to Parker, who's already scored once. Tried to roll over the try line. Calvert sniffing something, but it was shut down very quickly. Forber was the man who made the stop in the end. Eye finds Duffy, and Duffy, a workhorse. Can he conjure off an offload? He was trying a magic trick. Now you see it, now you don't pass. Well, it just squirmed away from Calvert.
There's a poor end to the set. Really, Duffy, when he goes in, he's trying to offload the ball. The mistake there goes through Jesse Joe hands.
There's been some great defence though. 2 or 3 tackles before that. It looked as though Jesse Joe Parker was going to crash over from close range. I'll tell you what, some great commitment, I think, from the Workington team here, who knew they couldn't afford to concede the first point so soon in this second period.
Yeah, that was certainly an improvement from the first half, wasn't it, Phil? That edge defence from the Workington Town team.
Yeah, to go 12 behind it so early in the second half would have been a job, to say the very least. Remember, they're propping up the pile in the championship. Just 4 points, Workington. Whitehaven have 8, and Whitehaven looking to move above Oldham are on the same points. They play Swinton in one of the games tomorrow afternoon. Bradford play Lee later on tonight.
Wait there.
There's a shot here from Chapel who comes in. Just hits the Workington player on the head again. Jared Samet content with knocking the ball out of the field of play.
Conservative stuff from Jared Samet for once. Okay, let's go down to the sideline and get the chat from the change rooms at half-time with Angela Powers. Angela.
Thanks for that. Workington coach Phil Vivers was very, very stinging in his assessment of the first half of that game. He said we couldn't have played as bad if we tried again. In the last 3 weeks, he said they've been looking good, but that first half was atrocious. And he had one word to say about what he wants to see this half. He wants to see them playing genuine and helping each other, because they're letting each other down badly, he says, so far. The Whitehaven coach, in contrast, is quite happy. He wants to keep his team playing with the same intensity. He said that Workington really won't go away. They're a tough side, but he's happy with what he's seen, but wants to cut out the errors at crucial times. They've let them down.
Thanks, Angela. Gosh, it didn't sound like much fun in the Workington changing room, Terry, did it? 28-10 to Catalan Dragons. More fun in the south of France for Laurent Frazigny and his team. That would be enough to get them really back in and amongst the top 4. Hull have won today against St Helens. Warrington won last night against the beleaguered Leeds Rhinos. Catalans winning. Wigan already won this week. St Helens beaten. The top 4 getting a little bit of water between them and the rest of the teams in the Super League. Here in the Championship, the ball is prodded forward by Dion I. It was a good kick, but there's some fancy footwork, some good stuff, and I himself had to come in and make the tackle.
Well, quite content to kick it on the 4th play. Whitehaven mixing it up, going the ball, shifting the ball wide, then all of a sudden going straight back to the direct approach, keeping it tight around the middle. for Dion to kick that ball on the fourth play.
There's Doran, came off the subs bench in that first half for Workington. The whistle blows, penalty for offside here, and that will suit Town right down to the ground, because this penalty on halfway, and they can bite off another 20 or 30 metres, and they'll start the next set really knocking on the door of what could be an equalising try.
The only calls Grant Gore offside. Michael Woodhead, he was talking to him. Switch on, danger zone here. Where's Jared Samet? This is where he comes alive.
He'll be licking his lips here, Samet. What can he conjure up? Brett Phillips is the one who gets his hand on the football first, and a bit of a waltz as he goes to ground. Doran is looking left and right, looking for options. Samet will be sniffing around here, you would think, at the play the ball pretty soon, with Carl Forber, his partner in crime, at half-back. Doran goes in at dummy half, and that the second tackle in this sequence. Forber is involved once more. Haven't seen Samet in this set yet, and that's a surprise in itself. Doran once more, no-look pass. Walker brushes off one man, can't brush off Jouffret. Oh, and he tried to ground the ball, which was folly. Really ought to have been better holding on to it and setting up for the remaining couple of tackles in the sequence. Instead, he got white line fever. His eyes opened up, Terry, and he couldn't get the ball down.
He goes for glory, doesn't he? He gets his arm free, sees the white line. He just doesn't have control, but because he's in the vicinity of the try line, he tries to get the ball down. Look, 4 players around him. There it is, there it is. Upsy daisy.
John, do you think that's worth a try? Would you back him to try that?
Yes, I would, yes. If he'd have had better grip, it may well have ended up a try, so you can understand him wanting that, but it is a little early in the half as well to, you know, to cough possession up, because Samet's last tackle plays have, as we've seen, been exceptional.
He didn't get a sight of the football at all in that sequence of 6 tackles, Jared Samet. Here's some dancing feet from Craig Calvert. Best season was 2007. He got 28 tries that season, but he's been a regular try scorer for Whitehaven from 2004 onwards. Jouffret, Gore, as they keep the ball moving. This time David Allen stepped out of one challenge, offloaded the ball. Progressive Whitehaven stuff as Chris Taylor was tackled, but the referee's whistle blows, and they're going to get a penalty here, which is more than useful to them. Well, deemed to be outside kicking range for Jouffret. I'm not sure it was, but they fancy 6 points rather than 2 this time.
Yeah, well, they want to keep it going here. Dave Allen hits them good tight leads as Chaplow takes the ball in with a strong carry, but skips outside the defender. And the penalty, they've got good shape here, good numbers.
Gore again. Been very neat and tidy at half-back, Gore. His Jouffret who injects pace into the line. Calvert! Craig Calvert gets a trademark try, his 10th of the season. It was well worked too. The combination of passes was swift and incisive. They had the overlap on the left flank, and Craig Calvert, well, scoring tries for Whitehaven since 2004.
Well, it comes from Grant Gordon. Again, you picked him out. He runs straight. He fixes the men up. He squares the Workington defenders up. They can't go out. And it all comes about, and the field position comes about because of Workington offside. On this left edge, Dave Allen gets outside of Jared Samet. That might be a game plan in the second half. Give Dave Allen the early ball and let him get a one-on-one with Jared Samet. But have a little look at Grant Gore. Goes at the line, holds up a couple of defenders. Again, Jouffret with the face ball. He has that shoot ball to the wing at Calvert. But it all comes about from what the halfbacks and the ball players do, John.
Tremendous, isn't it? That last pass is an exceptional piece of skill, you know, from Louis Jouffret. It really is on the button. You look at it, he catches the ball, and straight away, 2 hands, and it's right on the button to Calvert. That's an exceptional skill from the fullback, sweeping right from behind the ruck, right the way round, and then nailing that pass at the very end. Outstanding.
Well, Jouffret scored Whitehaven's try in the last minute last week when they got caned at London. But his contribution tonight looks like being much more significant, not just that assist, but the fact he's kicked 5 goals as well. This is far and away the most difficult that he's had all afternoon, and this time he's off target. But still, the 4 points from Calvert's try, making a 10-point game at 26 points to 16.
I think the hardest skill is that first pass there by Grant Gore, to run straight and then turn your body and pass it accurately to a player behind you. It's a very, very difficult, if not the most difficult skill that players have to do. And he did it, had he not done that correctly, I doubt that there'd have been the space for Craig Calvert to dive over in the corner.
Well, very much a legend at the club.
Oh, nice tip on
there. Was his foot on the line?
What is it about kickoffs?
Sticks. Hold on, fellas.
Well, there's been a whole plethora of mistakes from kickoffs in this match from both sides. And there's another one to add to the litany of errors.
Okay.
Well, decent kickoff that, wasn't it?
Jouffre. Well, that really is a bit of a scuffed goal line dropout, and they're going to have to start defending here, 25 metres out here, Whitehaven.
I guess Phil Viva's the town coach, so he's hoping that his tack improves. Obviously, they've scored the tries in the first half, but there wasn't any evidence really, or in the set we've seen before here, of what they can do as a team here to attack as Verlinden crashes forward.
Yeah, it's very much Jared Samet or bust, isn't it, really? It was in the first half, at any rate. Those two individual tries were the highlight. He hasn't seen much of the ball in the second half. Now he's got it, Jared Samet. What's he got this time? Goes himself! The dummy was almost bought by the entire Whitehaven side, but in the end, an important tackle came in from James Newton. Try-saving tackle, really. This will be a try, though. No question about that. No question about that. Declan Hume goes over in the corner. That was good. That was smart play. That's 4 points, and that gets them back within 6.
Well, both teams just seem to keep inviting each other back into the game, giving up that field position. Some good kickoffs from both sides. But Whitehaven, after scoring that try, they get this all wrong. Dion loses the ball, then it goes to Walker, who stood out of the field of play. But again, the shift to the right edge, a good ball here from Murphy. He just sucks in Calvert, the left winger from Whitehaven. And he's got to make sure that he's composed, he's got to catch the ball, knowing that the winger's going to jam in. The mistake was made inside of him, and as soon as he makes that mistake to go in, because Jesse Joe had planted his feet, he tried to cut the play down, leave the space on the right edge for that man, Declan Hume.
Yep, simple finish. Right place, right time for Declan Hume. It's Whitehaven player. Carl Forber looking to get his side back within 4. But again, the most tricky of tests from the right sideline. Close but no cigar. 26-20 Whitehaven, but plenty of time for Phil Vivers and co to pull this match out of the fire. They've been on the back foot really all afternoon. They've been chasing. They're back within 6, John.
Yeah, well, there's one thing for certain. There's going to be more points in the remaining 28 minutes or so. And again, great execution from pivot and fullback.
Well, if any of the Lee or Bradford players have been watching this game, I think one of the lessons is that kickoff restarts, perhaps stand on the dead ball line. The pitch isn't the full 100-metre length. And then you've got the opportunity to come forward for it.
Okay.
Bradford Lee still to come. You see 7:35 kickoff tonight for that battle. Everything delayed due to all sorts of traffic problems on the motorway, which delayed the game between Sheffield and London, and the domino effect means that will be 7:35. We saw on the screen a moment or two ago that Catalan Dragons look to have the points in the bag against Hull Kingston Rovers at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. Another important win for the Dragons. Who's going to win this game? Walker. Walker runs into heavy traffic just shy of the halfway line. 2 tackles left in this sequence for Workington Town, have got themselves back in the game. This is Forber. Forber does well, brings in the fullback, brings in Jack Murphy. Murphy is going nowhere quickly, apart from into reverse as Dion I wrestles him backwards. Last tackle then from just on the halfway line. Forber kicks forward. Easy for Calvert.
Yeah, well, he's trying to kick the ball off the field of play, isn't he, Calvert? Well aware of that. Just drops himself back, puts himself in good position to catch the ball. I think he was expecting a high ball as well on that occasion, Rod.
2004 and 2005, Whitehaven reached the grand final in this particular competition. Lost in extra time to Lee one year and to Castleford the year after. Before that, they were right up the top of the National League One as it was then, coached by our old pal Paul Cullen.
Outside.
That has got so much on it, disappears into the stand. And that really, one of the few errors that they've made, Whitehaven.
I get the feeling in the last 5 or 10 minutes or here that Workington have improved and grown stronger, and Whitehaven maybe hits a lull. It could be a temporary one, might not mean they don't win this match. James Newton, number 9 there, has turned over the ball on the halfway line, and Workington in that last passage of play when they started to move the ball left and right, making good ground as they attempt to get downfield. I think they're looking like they're going to finish this game a little stronger than they did in the first 40-50 minutes.
Well, if they are to do so, they're going to have to score out of sequence, because the tries have all gone Whitehaven, Workington, Whitehaven, Workington, Whitehaven, Workington, Whitehaven, Workington. It really has been tit for tat, so it's going to have to come out of sequence, and maybe Phil is correct that they're just starting to get the upper hand despite being behind on the scoreboard. Not if they carry on spilling the pill like that. Liam McAvoy, the offender.
Both teams have looked nervous during the game, and you'd expect that being the bottom of the table, wouldn't you?
Well, it was an amazing tackle here. Is it James Newton?
Yeah.
Perhaps hurts his head as well. There's maybe some possible for head collision.
Yes, absolutely right, Phil. He just got his head in the wrong place, collided with the wrong part of the body, and yes, he's going to need some treatment. That's concerning.
He tries to make up for it, doesn't he? Because he kicks the ball out on the full, and when you make a mistake as a rugby player, you try and do something to get it back for your teammates. And Dave Allen, well, he's been strong in this game. I say the battle there with Jared Samet challenging him. Look, you can just see, hits the head of McAvoy, hits his hip.
Well, we're hoping it's only concussion and not a serious spinal injury here. The game's rightfully stopped by the officials here now. He twists and moves awkwardly, and you can tell he's not happy. His teammates sense it's serious. Physio and doctor going through the right protocol, trying to reassure the player that everything's going to be okay, I'm sure.
Well, everyone there not taking any chances.
Will certainly be replaced to be assessed, won't it? It's and rightly so. The medical staff doing a good job.
It appears that it's more of a spinal concern at this stage, doesn't it, than necessarily just one of concussion. And the doctor going through every series of questions here. As Liam McAvoy just puts the hip into him, he's stood and twisted in an awkward angle. His eyes happy as he hits the ground.
0 tackle, so we'll play one after this.
Gary Broadbent there, one of the Whitehaven backroom staff. Been a great rugby league player. He's just making sure that one of his team feels okay.
I think they're relaxed now. They're happy that he's okay, aren't they?
Good.
Yeah. The doctor, the physio, not taking any chances.
Yeah.
And the split on his ear as well. For the cause, James Newton.
Yeah, as Phil was saying, the protocol now, that the whole level of treatment has changed so much, and quite rightly, Phil, hasn't it?
And I still think we're going through a process of education in rugby league at all levels of the game, even at Super League. And I think it's obvious now to more and more people that if somebody does receive a bang to the head, they need to leave the field to be assessed. People's health far more important than the team's result at the end of the day.
And sometimes it's difficult, that, Rod, isn't it? Because it's not in a rugby player's DNA to show a sign of weakness, and normally they don't want to leave the field of play, but it's important that the doctor takes control in that situation.
Exactly right. I mean, the psyche of a rugby league player, you've already indicated it. James Duke made an error, so he was working so hard to make it up. But sometimes you've got to look after them rather than let the player take his own decision.
Yeah. Well, he's up on his feet, and they will help him from the field of play, give him a full assessment, but I think it's just a relief to see him able to walk off the field pretty much under his own steam.
Yeah, it looks a bit wobbly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was 0, this will be tackle 1.
So fingers crossed everything's okay with him. But because of his tackle, they get the ball back here.
Yes, play resumes then with Whitehaven in possession and in the lead, 26 points to 20, and inside the Workington half of the field as well, off the back of that. Ben Davies, well, it's just manhandled backwards to some tune.
I think that's always an indicator for me, John, when a team are travelling well, when they can make ground even when the opposition have the ball.
Whitehaven have gone through 3 tackles here. A try would be absolutely priceless at this point in proceedings. There is Perez, the man who's on loan from the Catalan Dragons. There's another on loan man, Walker. All looking to burrow his way through. This is the final tackle, and the halfback is the man caught in possession, so they're going to have to go back to Oh, that's a wonderful kick. It's a wonderful kick. Oh, is he blown offside? Jesse Joe Parker blown offside. It was the two Papua New Guineans that were combining for what they thought was a 4-pointer. The referee had other ideas. Offside, the call.
Yeah. Good call. I think it was a great on-field call. You've got to have both feet behind the kicker. And for me, they were well in front.
Off you go.
Yeah, just gone a couple of steps too early there.
But short kicking game again from both sides. Whitehaven have conceded 2 tries from Jared Sammett. That was a clever little play from Dion.
Yeah, they were on the same hymn sheet, but Jesse Joe Parker was a couple of bars down the line, wasn't he?
Only just.
McAvoy, Liam McAvoy then for Workington up the other end of the field off the back of that penalty, still trailing by 6. 24 minutes left for play. Sammett. Verlinden to within 22 metres. He gets up and he plays the ball. Doran to Jared Sammett. Sammett then putting the ball on the toe once more. This time it ricochets free and it's picked up by Whitehaven. It's picked up by Grant Gore, who was right on the spot.
Yeah, and he wasn't taking any chances then, Rod. He stuck his foot out. Normally, there's some fullbacks in the game that don't like people sticking the feet out. If they think they've got it covered at the back, they don't want the ball to take a nasty ricochet and go somewhere else if they're heading towards the touchline.
Whitehaven looking for their 24th summer victory over their old rivals Workington, who've won 20, and there's been 1 draw since the game moved to the summer. And in the second year of it, moved to the seaside for this summer bash event. Dave Allen gets to his feet eventually. Gore involved once more. Just keeping them ticking over, doing the simple things, doing the simple basics. There's the kick towards the sideline. It finds the sideline. He finds the line. He forces their opposition back towards their own try line again.
And it's easy to get that kick away because the work that Riley does. Grant Gore, his kicking game has been very good in this game. But Riley, the number 19 for Whitehaven, lands on his front, gets up. The markers aren't set. It goes short side, and then Grant Gore just drops it onto his toe. But a big run from Glenn Riley enabled him to get that kick away. And this is good field position. This is a big forward. This is where you want to defend. This is where you can intimidate
Just
your
imagine
opponents.
who's going to catch the ball from the scrum. He's got 4 guys, look like they're in sprinters blocks here, going to charge at him. Oh, he skipped inside, pretty well done.
He spotted them 4 guys, Phil.
That's in a different race.
Well, here we go. You go to the sideline. Well, there's only one way you can go. You've got to get the ball in field. Jared Sammett trying to take control here. There's the penalty, Rob.
Wow. Goodness me. Very important penalty for for Workington as far as they're concerned. Sammett can't get the ball into touch quick enough.
That's undid all the good work there from that previous kick from Grant Gore.
Indeed it has, John. 40 metres away from the try line. Remember, they trail by 6 here. Line ball from Sammett. Waved play on by the referee as Walker collected it and made a couple of metres forward. Not very far, though, as they struggled to make yardage, just as they did before they got the penalty in this little passage of play. Mark Shackle. Again, it's up the middle. It's conservative stuff from Workington, but they are advancing. Verlinden goes into traffic.
Yeah, keeping it tight, They're going to open it up now.
But they've used 4 of the 6 plays.
Phillips,
asking very few questions.
Yes, Phillips dummy half. Sammett asking a question or two. This is the last tackle, or it will be. Well, it won't even get to the last tackle. We want another set. Is there a knock on? Is there a knock on?
He's shot.
Yeah. No one seems to know. And the scrum will go to the team in front with 6 points advantage. It'll go to Whitehaven. Referee says that was the first knock on. There were 2, but this was the first of them.
Yeah, well, that's the right call, that. I think it's Callum Phillips who knocks the ball out the back. The offload goes to him, it goes to ground. But Workington keeping it tight. They were trying to suck in the Whitehaven defenders to create space out on the edge. Oh, there's a mistake.
That is a mistake. What a mistaker to make her near your own try line. That really could be catastrophic. That's going to put their back right up against the wall here.
Yeah, well, Chris Taylor. Yeah, Chris Taylor drops the ball. Simple yardage play, John. You'd be pulling your hair out, you wouldn't you?
If I had any, yes. But I think how both teams are kicking the ball into touch, and these headers, I think there's an element of fatigue creeping into the play. That element of crispness and intent has just gone out of it at the minute.
Well, he scored a try earlier. Now, Chris Taylor is going to have to rely on his teammates to bail him out after that handling error near his own try line. It doesn't mean, of course, that you're forced to concede. It just means you're forced to defend. It's a different matter.
And this is where you need to dig deep for your teammate. Your teammate who's made that mistake, you all know that you've got to be there for him. You've got to talk. You've got to get off the line. You've got to have good contact. Make sure you shut the play down.
Well, now they really are on the try line with 3 tackles left here, and this is where you would fancy that Samet and Forber could conjure something up. Phillips is at dummy half. Here's Samet. Samet from left to right. Doran just brings the ball back inside. It shaped really that he was going to go further wide, but brought Jason Mossop in on a simple pass, but they're not asking very many questions, as Phil Clark was alluding to a few moments ago. Samet. Now the fullback Murphy. Now Matty G, and Matty G is close to the line, but not close enough to stretch out a right arm and get it put down. Samet. Crossfield kick, easy. Very, very easy. Well, it was made to look easy at any rate by Craig Calvert.
Well, as well as speed, Calvert's also got some size as well. He gets the ball. Good field position again, though, for Workington. Jesse Joe Parker taking the ball in. Dion Iron out in dummy half. They go short side here.
Catalan Dragons have beaten Hull Kingston Rovers by 34 points to 16 in the south of France. So that puts them right on the tail of Hull FC, up at the top of the table. By my calculations, they're now 3rd on the league ladder in the Super League, below Hull FC and the Warrington Wolves and just above the Wigan Warriors. Hull won today by 8 points against St Helens. Murphy claims that.
A good take from Murphy. But Anthony Walker, he's been good. You'd be impressed with him, wouldn't you, John? He's been a Welsh international.
He's played very well indeed, hasn't he? To say it's his first game for a long, long time. He's had a hand injury, but he really has come to this Whitehaven team and he's added something to it.
Tommy, go 3.
Brett Phillips carrying the ball, and now Alstrom over the halfway line. Penalty to Workington, and just suddenly, slowly but surely, the pressure being cranked up.
Brain explosion. Glenn Riley has his hand in, he's trying to lift his leg up, he tugs onto the ball.
But this is what happens, Terry, when you're not used to winning rugby league matches. You only won 1 out of 8. I know that applies to both teams, but Whitehaven aren't used to winning, and suddenly you start to get a little bit twitchy as the finishing line comes into sight.
And it's trying to protect that lead instead of doing the same things that got you into that lead.
Well, that's a natural human reaction, isn't it, to protect what you've got? You become defensive. The opposition Workington are chasing points. That's been spilled.
He's lost the ball, yeah. Well, it's the man who gives the penalty away, the number 19, Glenn Riley. He tugs the ball, and then all of a sudden, just have a little look up. The Shackley's been held up. He comes in with a thunderous shot, hits him, dislodges the ball, but numbers in, and that again, that's when you work hard for each other.
Workington look as though they're playing in the summer crash rather than the summer bash. They're just crashing down the middle of the field and repeatedly with one pass trying to force their way over the line. A little disappointing, I think, here that they've not shown as much enterprise with their attack. Maybe that's one of the frustrations of the coach. Maybe they were planning to do it later. But I think they need to pass the ball a bit more if they want to find the points to get back in on level terms.
Summer crash, I mean, it's wonderful, it's marvellous. It's like the lyrics of Gary Barlow, that. 63 minutes gone, 26 points to 20 to Whitehaven. They've led really from the get-go. They scored very early from Dave Allen, and they've been in the lead ever since in this match. Workington have been close and close and close, but never been able to get back on level terms, and now the time ticking away.
He's a little warrior, Thomas Coyle, isn't he? The number 14 for Whitehaven. You earn a penalty here.
Do you know what? The way Jouffre has kicked the ball, he really has given it a real whack, and he seems to have no problem with distance. I wonder if he might fancy having a whack from there. It's about 42 metres, well, a bit less, because the pitch isn't a full 100 metres, is it? So it's probably about 39, 40 metres. I'd probably fancy him from banging front.
I'd go about 37.
Would
Rod.
you really?
Yeah, you'd go for it, wouldn't you? But Thomas
38.5 I'd go for.
Thomas Coyle directing the forwards. He got out and he gave Glenn Riley an absolute serve because he'd overrun the play, the previous one. So what he does, he just sets it away from that, brings it back to the middle, goes for speed around the ruck, and then that's where the swinging arm comes from the Workington player.
The other thing is, as I mentioned, he really does strike a very, very long ball, and you'd fancy him to at least get it dead at the worst ways, even if he didn't quite get the accuracy. So that should mean that they'll get the ball back in any case.
Well, they're more or less kicking them dead from the kick-off,
aren't they? Yeah. So this would be a really important two-pointer here from Louis Jouffre, because it would give them some real breathing space. It would take them 2 scores clear at 28-20 if he can kick it. The only one he's missed was from really wide out on the touchline, so he has looked good with the boot. Can he pick up a priceless couple of points for his side? The height is not an issue, and nor is the direction. Good kick, solidly struck, and they lead by 8 at 28-20.
He's had an outstanding game, hasn't he, Louis Jouffre? He's been a threat to the attack. He's organised his defence well. His kicking's been exceptional as well.
Talking about kicking, John, do you think the Workington Town team here will make a short kick and attempt to challenge and get the ball back, or they going to kick it long?
It'll be something different, believe you me, with Jared Sammett. It won't be an orthodox kick-off.
Yeah, I think the left-footed back heel might be... No, he's gone long. Well, they probably fancied that they might pick up something from the long kick-off hour. What they're going to pick up here is a penalty against them, because he's got it absolutely... He got it right that time, didn't he?
Well, there's some height,
isn't there? Spot on Dion this time. He got his...
No. Rod, I actually thought this. Because again, he's going. No. He goes for it.
You know, you shouldn't be able to change your mind. No, you shouldn't. I don't want to get involved in making... I'm no expert on the referees, but you should make a decision and stick to it, regardless of what a replay shows.
Well, it's a
dangerous play, that, isn't it?
Should the video ref be able to come in?
Did he not catch it like that? Wasn't even the video ref. He hadn't even asked for that information. How did the ref?
But do you know what? In all honesty, Rob, I'm okay as long as the right decision's made.
It can't be, because you can't have a game officiated by a video replay.
I know what you're saying, Phil. I know what you're saying, but
come on, let's go.
I'm very happy that the correct decision has been made now. However we've got to it, it's the correct decision.
You can't stop for every tackle, can you, and every play the ball. We'd be here till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're not enjoying it?
I am. I'm loving it, man. It's...
well, come on, then.
Well, this is a crucial passage of play, isn't it? If they can get back here within 4 or 2, then it really is game on in the final 13 or 14 minutes of this match. Sammett and Murphy, but you just feel that they're not really threatening. They're not... Since those 2 brilliant tries from Jared Sammett, we haven't seen the magic box of tricks from Sammett. Maybe he's got something left in the locker to get them back in the game, but there's been a lot of this, a lot of solid stuff up the middle without ever really being that creative. Sammett goes from left to right. Doran drops off a pass to Mossop. Mossop, can he get free? He cannot get free, because Davies is there to haul him down a metre or so short of the try line. A prodded kick. Dave Allen has fumbled the football. That's going to cost them another set, but at least he managed to make sure they didn't score from that set, but they're going to have to muscle up again for another set on their own line.
Yeah, well, he makes the initial play for it. Dave Allen, he tries to pick it up on the run, makes the mistake. But he has the urgency to get down, knowing that he's got to pick that ball up, because there was Workington players in the vicinity that might just chip the ball forward and scored an easy try.
Their injury will delay the game. It's cramped, that. My limited medical knowledge.
Is it Ben Davis?
Okay.
Or is it
wanted the injury, not the player?
Okay, boys, we're good to go. Water up,
or is it
please.
lung replenishment?
On me, Jamie,
Or is it, yes, a diplomatic injury, John? It's amazing how many players go down in an offside position when they're defending a goal-time drop.
Off you go, Eddie.
Never ceases to amaze. Oh, fumbled at the back of the scrum, went backwards, says the referee. They still get the scrum win, but a tackle is burnt going backwards by 4 metres. But they are still in possession with Sammett.
Well, you get the feeling this is the chance. If the Town are going to get back and compete in this match, they need some points in this set.
Shackley is shackled near the try line. Walker, the low knee, Phillips, it's dreadful, play the ball, but play on is the call. Phillips gets hold of the football, but well, they've had the scruffy scrum win, then the scruffy play the ball, and a couple of tackles really have been wasted. In truth, Samet looking for a hat-trick, and he will bag one. A 3-try haul for Jared Samet, and most importantly, they're back in the game here because they cut the lead to 4 with a dozen minutes on the clock. Ooh, and Phil Vevers now, he's in business. He's here for business.
Well, what's going through the Whitehaven players' minds now? Mistakes, penalties. And again, they seem to be scoring the points, and then directly from scoring points, they make the mistake. Just trying to take the ball out of the field of play. Look, he looks a bit nervous here. So Jared Samet, not only has he got a very good kicking game, short to Whitehaven's, or close to Whitehaven's try line, he's also got a very good running game. Look, he pumps the ball, eye switches off, he thinks he's going to pass the ball to a man outside. And he's a dangerous player, he stands players up, his speed to get through, his evasive skills are there for all to see, John.
Well, Samet is saying, leave the kicking to me here. Jared Samet, a hat-trick. Summer Bash hat-trick. Saw 2 last year. Oscar Thomas for the London Broncos and Greg McNally for the Lee Centurions. Samet with 3 superb individual tries. Can he get his team back within just a couple at 28-26? Plenty of time. Loads of time. Well, not as silky smooth with the boot this time, Jared Samet. And these missed goal kicks are really stacking up now. Here's the hat-trick try, though, from Samet, or the hat-trick of tries, should I say. First 2 were very similar, but weren't they wonderful?
Wonderful skill there, outside of the foot, and the weighting of it was superb. But then the running one was also outstanding. You can see the change of tempo there. He almost went from virtually standing to full speed within a couple of steps, and that's what took him over there. There's one thing about Jared Samet, wherever he is, things happen.
Well, it's 4 tries apiece in this game, and the difference is the kicking. Giffray has kicked everything bar 1, and Workington between them, Corber and Samet, have missed too many.
Well, it's hard to exactly know what Whitehaven players were talking about behind the post, but I guess not conceding a penalty, defending well, but not conceding a penalty. And these next 6 players would have been, I think, their #1 priority, because it will hopefully, if they just complete the tackles against this Workington Town team who are playing conservatively, to get upfield, means that they should receive the ball without too much pressure.
Well, little doubt that Workington have been the better team in the second half. Samet kicking for the line.
He's quite content, isn't he, to do that?
Yeah, he is content to do that, and you just feel that he fancies that they can force an error, or the other team will hand them an unforced error.
Well, when you have a team on the ropes, would you not rather kick the ball high in the air and make sure it's an onside kick, and then put pressure on the fullback, put pressure on the winger, instead of just relieving the pressure, letting the clock tick down and just knocking it off the field?
We're inside the final 10 minutes here of Game 2 of Summer Bash 2016. In Game 1, the London Broncos were rampant against the Sheffield Eagles, and in Game 3 we'll see the league-leading Lee Centurions against the Bradford Bulls. And tomorrow, plenty to come. Batley Dewsbury, Oldham Swinton, and Featherstone versus Halifax. There's the confirmation of the final game for today, coming up in just about half an hour's time. They'll serve up a thriller like they did in the earlier meeting at Altshull Stadium, which ended in an amazing draw as Bradford came, well, not just off the canvas, but from out of the ring.
He's been good, Ryan Duffy, the man who's playing the ball at number 31. A couple of strong carries in this set of 6.
Well, there's the high kick you were calling for. It's enormous bomb as well, Clay. That's a good take, that, to be fair, by Perry Whiteley. He's done ever so well there to haul that in.
That is a very, very good take under enormous pressure. And you could have imagined Whitehaven kicking the ball off the field and just letting the clock tick down, but not if you're behind on the scoreboard.
4-point game and an injury here.
I think it's James Newton. He's just come back on. You talked about getting up off the ring. He's got up off the floor. And surprisingly to me, I have no medical qualifications, but I was surprised to see him back on the field here.
Takes another one, Phil.
And you know, well, medical people will tell you once you've suffered one bang to the head, you're far more susceptible to suffer a second. I know when I say it was an accident, he's got his body in the wrong position. He could have hurt his ankle, knee, or head really in that. There was all sorts of problems. He gets back in the line.
Well, this issue has been in the headlines this week because Wakefield were fined for the RFL finding them guilty of breaching the protocol of concussion with an incident at Widnes involving Danny Kermond, or 2 incidents at Widnes involving Danny Kermond. And as you say, Philip,
we're not the only team either. Maybe the only team to get caught and punished that way. 1 or 2 others been guilty of it as well.
Yes, I know you monitor that.
But for him to get back on the field, though, he's had to pass a concussion test on the sideline, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just to clear that up.
Yes. That's exactly the protocol and the process. He's on the field at the moment and he's back in the defensive line, and there are 8 minutes to go, and Jared Samet under pressure gets a kick away. Jouffret safe under the ball, looks for his winger, doesn't utilise it, goes himself, skips away and goes into a 2-man tackle. Mossop was waiting to mop up, but he didn't need to make the tackle on Jouffret, but he really has been very, very good at fullback this afternoon. His goal kick has been brilliant, but he's also been very, very exciting with ball in hand.
Yeah, totally agreeing, and not putting himself under pressure as well, catching that ball, knowing that if he makes a mistake it puts his side in the pressure. As Ryan Ince takes the ball forward with a strong carry, centre field here.
Well, there is the aforementioned James Newton, who's back in at dummy half again here, as Whitehaven look to go through the process here, just keeping things very, very simple. Dave Allen, veteran forward now, plenty of Super League experience, knows what to do in this situation. Gore, just floating one over the top towards the try line. It's perfectly weighted, it really is a great kick. He misses the tackle in the end, he misses the tackle as he came flying in, but it won't matter because he's got 4 teammates with him to corral Perry Whiteley in his in-goal area.
Well, Teddy, I agree with you. Whitehaven are kicking as if they want more points. They're making them contests or they're looking for double deals. Whereas Workington, I can't understand their policy of putting it over the sideline when they're 4 points behind on the scoreboard. But that's just reward for an excellent kick and a great chase from Whitehaven.
Workington and Jared Samet give it the hurry up off the dropout. He got plenty of distance on it, to be fair. Goodness me! Calvert came back in there and was just knocked clean off his feet in the end by Oliver Gordon.
Well, that's the way you return a ball, but that's also the way you tackle and deal with someone. Returning the ball with force.
That's a winger running into a prop, and you didn't really need me to tell you that. Eye to Perez. Perez shrugs off one man, swats away, but he can't get Doran off his back in the end.
There's a try coming here, Rod.
Gore, Riley just taking the inside drop-off pass to within a couple of metres of the line. They lead by 4, so a drop goal not a whole lot of use to them. Gore, Chapelot, oh yes, to Gore, oh, and they've done well there. The fullback Jack Murphy has got underneath the ball. Clamping challenge, crucial challenge also. Here's the fullback Jouffret, bounces off a Workington man, and they've collected it as well. He couldn't get it through the traffic, through the legs. He was looking to get that into the in-goal area. Nevertheless, they turn it over 10 metres from their own line, Workington.
Well, what Workington got left in the tank now, just over 5 minutes to go in this game.
Well, the game's set here now for a match winner. One team or the other, somebody's going to score and be the match winner. There's a possible 40-20 option here if any of the Workington teams. Jared Samet perhaps might fancy it, because they need possession at the other end of the field. They won't score from here.
Oh, tremendous offload, and it was very alert by Jared Samet. Verlinden got it away, smuggled the ball away, and Samet was on hand to collect it and get his team up towards the halfway line. But they've got to produce some magic from somewhere here. This is the last tackle in this sequence. Samet again, and as John Keir pointed out, the master tactician that he is, what are they doing, John?
They think the scoreboard's the wrong way around.
I would agree with you.
It's like a 4-point lead. They must think they've got a 4-point lead.
Yeah.
There's only...
They need to they need to put the receiver under some pressure, either through the difficulty of the kick, a spiral bomb a la Danny Brough, or making it a contest with the chase.
The only thing I can think of similar is, I remember Bradford at St Helens once 2 points behind, and Paul Deacon dropped a goal. They panned to Brian Noble, who shouted, "We're 2 points behind, what are you doing?" But I mean, Phil Vivas would be forgiven for asking the same question, wouldn't you?
Do you know what? But even looking at that, even if they were kicking the ball off the field so they could get tight defence and force an error, there was no line speed. There was no aggressive line speed that was ever going to force an error.
Well, it's an old adage, isn't it? Do what the opposition least wants you to do. Whitehaven wants you to kick it off the field, so why would you do it?
I'd be made up if I was a Whitehaven player when they do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, here we go. This is the mistake they were waiting for. You guys have got no idea.
Well, the mistake comes just about on around the half. With the. It's going to be a scrum down just inside Whitehaven territory, so they've got a result from somewhere unexpectedly. Now they get the chance to attack with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock.
Well, they've stacked all the players on the big side of the scrum, Rock. Let's see what they're going to come up with.
Jared Sammett brings the fullback into play. Murphy, now Whiteley. Whiteley is knocked down 10 metres inside Whitehaven territory by Dave Allen. Sammett, they keep it very, very conservative again.
Look how tight Whitehaven were on that occasion then. The wingers are pushing them tight in because they know that the first 3 or 4 players straight up the run. Now they're starting to open up.
Clock still ticking, just over 3 minutes left. Sammett almost dropped the ball in his effort to put on a show. Picked up here by Doran. Doran is tackled. 4th tackle disappears. Plays the ball. McAvoy was in possession briefly to Sammett. Sammett bounces off a couple of challenges. Now they keep the ball alive. This is the 5th tackle in this sequence. Ryan Verlinden just going down a cul-de-sac. Can he get it away to Sammett? He can. They do well. Half a chance on this near side to Matty G. And G, though, is wrestled to the ground. And this is the final tackle in this sequence. Under 3 minutes left for Workington, who trail by 4. Sammett has the ball. Sammett floats a kick towards the in-goal area. Brilliantly claimed, and that will be a defusing of the bomb. A defusing of the bomb from Jesse Joe Parker. They'll get a 20-metre tap.
Yeah, well, imagine the nerves from Jesse Joe Parker then as that ball goes in the under pressure. But a good read as well from Brian Ince, the right winger for Whitehaven, who cuts the player down. There's nothing wrong with this. He's got total control, catching this ball, takes it down to ground. But got to bring the ball away, error-free, simple yardage plays now in your red zone.
There won't be any heroics here. Calvert knows what he's doing, just takes the ball up himself.
You want your outside backs, the men who've not touched the ball for a long time, come in and help some of your teammates that are putting big stints, big efforts.
Ted Chapello over the halfway line. They used up 3 tackles, but that really isn't much of a concern. They'll just keep burning tackles with some simple stuff here, and then they'll get it knocked off the island and just set up to defend what could be Workington's final set of the match.
5 last, he's okay.
Last tackle then. They'll look to Gore. Where is Gore? Here is Gore. Gore does exactly what we'd expect. I'll tell you what, he's put that out of the air like an apple off a tree there. That's great stuff from Perry Whiteley. It wasn't the worst kick. It's sat up and he just plucked it, and that saved themselves, about 30 seconds, and now they spill the ball, and that could just about be the game.
Well, it looks like they've won the cup final. They're all celebrating, jumping up and down. Whiteley, when he gets that ball.
Need an half-back, boys. Short of an half-back.
But is it these conversions that's cost them the beat?
Well, that
Forward who's missed, Jared Sammett who's missed.
Well, on another day, they would have kicked, if not both of them, certainly one of them. And if they kicked both, of course, it would be 28 all. But if we had him and my uncle, Terry.
And then you'd be shooting for the 1-pointer, Rod.
Yeah, and here is Jesse Joe Parker. And they've got some wise old heads out there, Whitehaven. They know what to do here. A minute to go as Parker is slow to get to his feet, as you would expect, with the clock ticking away on his side in front. Of course, if they score, it won't matter what the clock says. And they're very close to the try line here. Newton to Walker, and Walker has got very, very close, but the important thing was he held on to the football no matter where he was being twisted and turned around. Dave Allen, who started the try scoring very, very early on in the piece. Verlinden has him in a bear hug. That just allows Allen to take some more time off the clock. Walker again. Walker to within a metre. Walker to the shadows of the post.
It's got to be off the pitch here.
Well, they can kick it dead, can't they? Just belt it away. Gore, though, will take the tackle. And it's not the worst thing to do, because he turns the ball over with 14 seconds to go and 90 metres of real estate between Workington and the try line.
No, they just would have turned to the sideline and kicked the ball out of play.
Yeah. This is the last tackle, effectively, I think. They may get one more, but really, they've got to try some kind of act of escapology that would make Harry Houdini's acts look like regulation. There goes the siren. Oh, I think he's going to say
penalty here for high tackle.
Okay, they're going to get the penalty. That gets them a bit of yardage, and they get one Hail Mary kick, perhaps, Phil, from the halfway line or thereabouts.
Yes. Now the kick to touch is important here. He's gained about 25 metres. They're in their opponent's half.
It's a cracking kick, really. Now they can take this ball forward, and just one Hail Mary bomb from Jared Samet, you would think, from round about the halfway line.
Keep the ball alive, Rod.
An onside chase is the essential part here, isn't it?
Get it in the air.
Keep it alive.
They are keeping it alive with Samet.
They've done that for 80 minutes. They've got them nowhere.
Here's Doran to within 30 metres of the line. The ball's still moving. The ball's still alive with Samet. The ball now finds Murphy into a tackle. You cannot afford to go into contact. And it's spilled, and Whitehaven have it, and Whitehaven have the victory. They have the 2 points. They have the win at the Summer Bash. Last year they lost to Workington. This time a different story. They got the win in a nail-biting contest. There wasn't one last twist in the tail, and overall they probably deserved it.
Well, there you go. Whitehaven players, they've come away with the 2 points in what has been a tough contest, and Phil Vivers knows that if his side would have kicked those conversions, at least it could have been a draw. Jared Sam has been absolutely brilliant for the Workington side. And if you look at the spine, you look at Dion I, Grant Gore, Louis Jouffre, Thomas Coyle, I think they've really stood up. They've led the side around. And it's been a victory that James Coyle's been wanting from his Whitehaven players. Down on numbers on Tuesday night, just 5 players training, yet they turn up here today and win this derby game. They go home with the 2 points.
Well, they outscored their opponents in terms of tries, Workington, but it was the kicking that made all the difference. The kicking of Jouffre, that was the important thing. He was kicking penalties left, right and centre. He kicked all the conversions bar one. Missed efforts from Samet and from Calvert. Very, very costly in the end, despite all those individual heroics from Jared Samet, who became the 3rd player to score a hat-trick on the Summer Bash stage 2 last year, and his hat-trick this year, but on the losing side, in a losing cause, Jared Samet. He is, though, the man of the match, and there he is down there getting his award. Let's hear what Jared has to say, talking to Angela Powers. Angela.
Jared, there's your stick of rock from Peter Linford, a fan there. I won't get him to hand it over because it's a bit heavy, but to be on the losing side and play like that, you must be so disappointed.
Yeah, I think for large parts of that game, we were the better team. I mean, credit to Whitehaven. They made us work for absolutely everything, and they made us pay the price when we were ill-disciplined. You know, at the rate we're going at the moment, you know, every week we need to put our best foot forward, and the way the competition's turned out, we can't take any week easy, and I mean that's the kind of competition that you want, but at the moment, you know, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball.
You must be so disappointed. You're still rooted at the bottom of the table, but were there options in that second half where you might have been able to turn the screw and weren't able to?
Yeah, we definitely know what we have to do, but we just don't make the crucial times, and you can't afford to not take your opportunities. And you know, today that was just one of those games where we paid the price and time beat us.
Commiserations, Jeremy, but I hope you enjoy the rock. Thank you.
Well, a Jared Samet hat-trick was not enough for Workington Town. They were favourites going into this game. Although they were at the bottom of the table, they stay at the bottom of the table. Whitehaven win 28 points to 24. Right, quick look at the Kingston Press Championship table. Shows Whitehaven jumping above Oldham, who are in action tomorrow against Swinton. Workington Town, as I say, now 4 points adrift of Oldham. or Oldham to win, it will put Workington Town really in the relegation mire if they're not already there. Right, John Keir, Workington Town, what can you say? They went in as close to full strength as they've been in recent times, with Phil Weaver's words ringing in their ears throughout the week. He said, be on guard, be careful, this Whitehaven wounded animal is dangerous, and they come unstuck.
Yeah, well, they proved to be very dangerous, didn't they? And all compliments to the Whitehaven team. The best individual out there is probably Jared Sammons, but you can't just rely on individuals. A group will beat a team of individuals, and that's exactly what happened. And I thought Whitehaven were really very, very good. They stated their intent from minute one, from the kick-off, when they forced the repeat set by taking the Workington receiver over his own in goal line. And from there, that was their signal of intent, and they just built from that, and they were the better team. I'm not saying they have the best individual, but they were the better team.
Oh, and a well-coached side as well. They're very sharp. Some of their attacking play, very sharp. Playing on narrow short side, and able to execute brilliantly.
Yes, they were, yes. And both half-backs and Jouffre around the back are instrumental to that. They run some good hard lead lines, but the pass selection was very good, and the timing of the shape was very good indeed as well.
John, where to now for Phil Weaver's and Workington Town side? As we know, the league will split. They will definitely, you would imagine, be in that bottom part of the league. And it's a relegation battle now, isn't it?
It is, yes. I mean, this is the 15th game, and they've obviously got the rest of the 23 rounds before the splits occur. Then they've another 7 games. So there's still half a season to dig themselves out of it, but there's no doubt about it, they're in a hole.
Whitehaven bounce back from that 62 points to 4 defeat against the London Broncos. James Coyle has cobbled the side together. He's got some assistance from some Super League clubs, Catalan Dragons, Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, loaning players, and he's fitted them in, slotted them in well.
Well, credit to him. First of all, he recruited players to ensure he's got a competitive team, but then the preparation must have been very good. If they didn't train on Tuesday and just train later in the week, they really did put some purposeful work together, because those tries were good tries that they scored, and they constantly worried the Workington Town edge defence.
All right, they led 22 points to 16 at half time. They finish out 28 points to 24. That is the end of game 2 on day 1 of the Summer Bash. Okay, game 3, as I said, perhaps the most anticipated fixture of the day. It is the Bradford Bulls against the Lee Centurions. Switch channels, please, to stay with us on that. Sky Sports 2. That does promise to be a cracker. This game could have anything and everything. All right, John Keir, you're going to make your way over to commentary for this one. Expect fireworks, I'm sure, in this one. Please stay tuned with us. Sky Sports 2 for that one. It should be a cracker. We'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live. On all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.
Tap the app and you can almost taste it. It's Appy Day. Order with the app today only. Use voucher code AppyDay and get a tasty 20% off your takeaway. Hungry House, the easy way to take away.
This month, discover a place where dreams come to life.
Our dreams are the compass, and the stars will light the stage. So spread your wings and fly up high. The sky is full of stars. If we could believe.
With over 1,000 movies on demand, anything is possible with Sky Movies.
I've been wiping blood off the floors for too long. Something's gotta change.
When did it become a crime to succeed in this country?
He's an icon, and he is a fraud. Be just and strong in the actions you bring, and don't waver.
Till it's gone.
You're watching Sky Sports, your home of sport.